driving to the res, but we're already on the res.
Welcome to Driving to the Res with Larry and Inelia. And this time we're actually at the res and we're driving out of the res. But we thought we'd record anyways. It was actually quite interesting coming in. And the reason we didn't record coming in was because we had Larry's children in the car and we're talking about certain things that, had to do with the present situation on the planet with coronavirus and basically educating them a little bit on how to cope with the social pressures around different items and things, such as people wanting to vaccinate them and things like that.
Get a flu shot.
Yeah, getting a flu shot.
We were talking about lions and lambs.
And one of the fascinating things about it is that when we got to the res, this is one of the reses that have closed their doors to non-residents. So unless you live here or work here, you're not allowed into the res. And what was interesting is that the person guarding the gate from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night is a senior citizen who is supposed to be high risk, he's really charming and everything, but, a little bit worried about him. He's supposed to be in home shelter and, in a high risk demographic, and he's the person who talks to everybody on the road, comes up right up to the car, and so yeah, I thought that was a bit strange.
We're going to bring him a bit of Milena's home cure. That is ginger, honey, lemon. Well, I put a little bit of chaga in it too, make a little bit of brown, and we'll give him a jar of that. He can make a tea every time he goes home.
That's funny because that's the thing that I wanted to make, and I bought all the ingredients.
Yeah.
And then you got the recipe from Milena.
Yep.
So
your recipe, her recipe, it's like matched up. Today when we were doing our brooms call, or it could have been a B&G call. Can you explain what
the brooms and the
could have been a B&G call.
What is a B&G call?
Might have been a bride and groom call. I'm not actually sure what our call was. The brides and grooms of Gaia. We had a call for Saturday. Talk about business stuff. We're getting a website put together and put up with a forum. And we're going to do blog, and we're going to do a podcast, and we're going to do videos, and, we're trying to get ourselves organized to get the brides and grooms contract and vows out to the planet to anybody who's interested, having a new paradigm, a new way of organizing themselves around life.
So we're coming up to the roads. What is this called? A road? Roadblock. And it says, big sign up there saying, stay home. There's a virus in Clallam County.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Heading back.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow with your home cure.
Oh, okay.
Just make tea out of it.
I'll be all ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't give me bad breath. I'll think.
It'll be good breath.
That's funny.
Dan.
There's Dan. He's got a house at the Hoko too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the call today, you were saying?
Yeah, the call today. So the brides and grooms of Gaia. Most everyone listening probably knows what that is, but for anyone who doesn't, basically, a bride and a groom of Gaia is a partnership with Gaia as the bride or as the groom, depending on what you're looking for.
Like we talked about in the previous episode.
Right. So you make your choices and your decisions, taking Gaia into consideration, and as a partner in the decision. And Gaia wants to host a high frequency reality. Well, she is going to host a high frequency paradigm, and so as brides and grooms, we join her in that intent. And we do it in a ceremonial, in a very factual, and a very contractual basis, in a way that's well defined. Because oftentimes we found the people side of the arrangement, that's the one that needs to work.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. we have talked about this in a previous episode, but one of the funny things about the contract, basically the call, is that we had today, different people, when we talked about this drink, the ginger lemon and honey drink,
Yep.
and getting recipes on how to make it most effective. And it's like one of the things about that I found interesting. Some individuals within the group were having issues signing their contract because they've had difficult marriages, or they have cultural things around marriage in the past, or they think that the whole religious thing, the brides of Jesus are nuns,
Yep, exactly.
I don't know what the priests are. They the grooms of Jesus?
I don't
I don't
know.
But so there's a lot of programs and stuff running, but those are human things, because basically the name is brought forward as a long life commitment and partnership of equal people, entities, right? You're a divine eternal being, and so is Gaia, and it's just a union between you and Gaia. In different cultures, Gaia is either masculine or feminine, but I always choose to speak of Gaia as feminine, because that's how we understand Gaia in the present society and present culture. But there's both, really. And I don't know why we were talking about the brooms call today, or the brides and grooms Gaia call.
Probably because we were talking about the lemon, ginger, and honey recipe that we were going to give to the guard of the reservation.
Yes, we're going to
So
make
that
a batch for him.
The part that would matter, the part that matters, is of this whole rigmarole is bolstering your immune system if you have any worry about getting a cold or a fever or a flu or a corona or anything. The cure isn't hiding yourself away. The cure is having a strong immune system. And having a clear understanding of how to create a strong immune system. So part of that was what we were talking to with the kids on the ride out here, is what do you do to have a strong immune system? And sometimes it's the opposite of what you might think. Although nowadays most people are well enough educated to realize maybe all that stuff we thought was true isn't necessarily true. So probably the best way to segue into that story might be your story with cleaning your house.
Well, it's well
But I don't know
known
what
that
you
if
want
you
to talk
clean your house too much, your kids are gonna get sick, and that's what I experienced as a young mother when I was 20. But I think that what's really been fascinating me about this whole thing is the change in culture. I sent out a newsletter yesterday that gave people very simple things that you can do to take advantage of this time. We've been talking about a split for a long time now. I know I've been talking about it since 2010.
Right, we were thinking it was coming at 2012, and that didn't work out. And then we
Yeah.
figured out you're retiring on 2017, so that's when it's going to be. That didn't work out.
Well, this split has been happening since the late 1800s, right?
Yeah.
But it was supposed to have very large things happen so that basically people choose what reality they're living in. And the best example that I can think of is the Native American viewpoint on the 3 days of darkness, which could be 20.
What?
Or it could be 2 years.
Well, are you kidding me?
But basically,
Oh, was that? Sorry.
the
go ahead.
cultural teaching is don't fall into fear. If you fall into fear, there are going to be days or years of darkness. But if you don't fall into fear and you stay in your natural frequency, which is high, it's going to be nirvana. So that's what I've been seeing. I know a lot of people around the world, and I've seen a lot of them. The majority are having the best week of their life and the best time of their life. Children at home, home education, homeschooling. It's completely different. It's a different thing. and it creates a different type of society, a different type of citizen if that citizen has been homeschooled. When and also the school work, right? I mean homework, working from home, I should say. So when I was in university in Ireland, I got one of the top grades in for my year, and I didn't get the top grade by 1 point. 1 point. I was second, and the person who got that point was a girl who was actually the youngest student in the year, and she had been homeschooled.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she had been schooled her entire life, and that's then the person that beat me. And how was I educated? Well, I could pretty much say I was homeschooled because I never went to school. I used to go to school once a week or so to catch up on the stuff that was going on, get some homework, get the schoolwork, and then I'd come back for the exams. And I passed everything, good grades and everything. But yeah, it was like I didn't exactly subscribe to the system. I'm not saying that, that's why we got the top marks necessarily. I have no proof of it, but it's kind of strange that both people, the top ones by far, because we were 1 point ahead, separate from each other, but we were 10 or 20 points from everybody else. So is it a coincidence that we both didn't subscribe to the educational system or not? I don't think so. I really don't. And the systems of education that are coming up should be really, really fascinating. I'm really looking forward to hearing from everybody here, from you, what educational systems you're creating for yourselves and your children. On my end, as you know, I'm creating with 3 other partners what we're calling the Benz Academy, which is also an online educational academy for learning all the Benz method and different tools for empowerment.
And getting certified, right, to teach them.
Yeah, eventually, we'll have a certification program in place. We hadn't planned to launch until, May, at the earliest, to launch some of the classes and courses. But because of this crisis, we're actually going to launch in a couple of weeks. We're going to launch the online lecture hall, which is going to be live lectures, and we're going to open with 5 lectures, 1 per week, that help you to be empowered and basically give you tools on what to do through this time of change. Now that you're home, now that you have your kids at home, and also education about the virus. What does it mean at a global scale? What does it mean at a mystical level, right? But also some of those tools are going to be mystical tools too. I'm going to be launching that with these 3 women, and I'm going to send it out on my newsletter, all the details on how you can join, and they're going to be very, very affordable, because we need to get it out there to as many people as we can, because my goal basically is to create leaders, right? And for me, if you're listening to this, you're one of the world leaders, the social leaders. You're going to be leading your family, your neighborhoods, your workplace, everything. So that's why we're working really hard right now to launch that in a couple of weeks.
Excellent. Can't wait to see.
It should be exciting. It did add a lot of work on my plate because we weren't expecting to launch anything until May, but
You're a good workaholic though sometimes.
we're all very good workaholics in the company, so yeah, we've got it covered. But yeah, it's like the restructuring of society that's really exciting to me. What about you?
Yeah, I find myself having a hard time, calling it a crisis or a quarantine and all that other stuff, because it's like so much. I mean, I understand, I see at least that there are some people who are having a horrible time with this. But, geez, I mean, it couldn't be better, honestly.
Can you explain why you think it couldn't be better?
For me, anyway, and us, our friends are close, our kids, they're here. I spent the whole week with Cameron and Grace, and normally Cameron would be in California going to school and college and all of that. We did a video and we did a bike rides and we did, all kinds of fun stuff together all day long. And we even slept in till 10. And we stayed up till midnight. We ate ice cream. We had a great time. And that wouldn't happen if they were where they would usually be this time of day. Grace would have her schedule set from 6 or 5 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. If I ask her, can you come over, you want to hang out? She has 700 things going on, and now she has time to not do anything for a little while.
Except hang out with Dad.
Yeah, but still, there's
nice.
time in the day for doing just exactly nothing. And there's time in the day for going for a 5-mile run. And there's time in the day for doing an essay on the computer. And there's time in the day for watching a movie and having lunch. All of a sudden, time is completely available to experience however you want to. I think that's the best part about it. The distractions on your time that felt so important, they're gone. The things that were so hugely important, eliminated. Now it's very simple.
Although you're going back to work on Wednesday, aren't you?
Well, we want to go probably. We're still on the fence about it because we like to go fishing. We like to be on the boat. We're going to go this time to catch food for the village, which is its own kind of interesting experience. And they want us to catch fish that, we don't usually catch a lot of, but it's the ones they pick that they want us to catch. So lingcod, they're usually in rocks, so it's a little bit tricky to catch those with your rope because it gets stuck in rocks. And there's either a lot of them or there's none of them, so we got to nail them down right. And rockfish, which we catch some. Again, not a lot. 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds would be a lot. And the tribe wants to give us $500 to get for fuel and food and go out. And then when we come in with the fish, they'll reimburse for the costs, pay the crew a little bit of labor, and then I guess the fish will get cut up and distributed to the village. So it's kind of an interesting twist on it, right? I noticed when I was looking, normally this time of year we'd be fishing 7 days a week, catching black cod, and in about a month catching halibut, and then a little bit after that catching salmon, and sometime through it all catching rockfish. So we'd normally be pretty busy when the weather got nice. So today was a nice day, flat, calm, and sunny, and warm, and beautiful, and right smack dab in the middle of fish season. And we were riding bikes in the forest. So, it's kind of nice. Now next week we get an opportunity to go catch some fish, make the boat move around, practice our art. I think that'll be a nice experience. It won't be the same. We're going to make $10,000 in 3 days and it's all about money. This has all got a lot of different purposes. We're going to get some money, enough to cover the bills, the expenses, and we're going to feed our village of people, which is pretty dang cool.
That feels good, right?
Yeah, that feels good.
That's
Now all we have to do is make our village of people a little bit bigger, because we have the capacity to have a lot more food come out. Connection, food to people.
Yep.
Not connection, food to money. It's food, or not connection, fish to money. It's fish to people.
Yeah, I was just hoping that we could have had some sort of system where we can actually send the fish to everybody that needs it. But we don't have a freezer, so can't really send it.
Yeah, it's bizarre part too, because it's not like people stop eating. but all of the market for fish is gone, eliminated, zero.
It's really bizarre. It's really
So
strange.
crazy. And I guess it's because the companies that process the fish, they don't have the people to bring in to do the processing, because they don't have like groups of people together. And the people that they sell the fish to are usually people like at restaurants, and the restaurants are hampered in some ways. And grocery stores, still, I don't know why they wouldn't want to be buying fish. But our market is zero. If we catch it, there's no one to buy it. I was reading about tuna boats that had gone out fishing for tuna sometime in the middle of February before anything happened. They were out for a month. They came in with a full load of fish. No idea anything happened while they were gone. And all of a sudden, there's no one to buy their fish.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
So they're stuck with a boat full of fish and no one to buy it. They're trying to sell them off the boat one at a time, but that process is significantly a lot different than unloading them all to a wholesaler and having them sell fish.
Right,
It is
right.
fish to an individual person. And in Europe, it's the same story. It's like planet-wide. All of a sudden, all the boats that go catch fish are all tied up because nobody will buy the fish. What happened? Everybody all of a sudden stopped eating?
Not really. So what did happen?
What happened? You see that strange
Yeah.
Irish co-op of 70 boats tied up their entire fleet of boats because nobody will buy the fish. No one will come to the auction, or I don't know what it is. The one boat went out, left the dock. The price for the fish he was catching, some kind of a hake or I don't know what it was, something like that, was $4 or £4.50, £4.50. I don't know that word very good, but
Yeah.
4.5 pounds when they left the dock. And then when they came back, all this stuff had happened. They were only gone for 5 or 6 days. When they came back, that same fish was only worth 41 cents a pound.
What? Oh,
$4.50
gosh.
to 41 cents.
I probably won't even pay their bills.
No, because they have to pay the owner of the quota 50 cents a pound
Right.
just to fish.
Right.
So they owed the owner of the quota 9
Oh
cents.
my gosh.
Plus the fuel, plus everything else. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
That's
topsy-turvy world.
It is.
Aren't fish and chip shops in England usually to go anyways? What's the
Well, I
difference?
don't know. Yeah.
All of a
Just
sudden
take
nobody
away-
wants to eat fish? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's
So-
when it comes in, the build new structures, This is what I'm talking about. Stop relying on the old structures, they've stopped. So you need to start building new structures. How do you get the fish to the people, right? Around the planet. How do you do that? Maybe we can get some ideas in the comment section.
That'll be good. I think I've read a few people have been trying to go direct to people with their apps. And about 10 years ago, I thought of the idea of having an app. People could log into the app while we're out fishing, see what we're catching. If they want to have some of that fish when we come in, put their name in the hat. Then when we get in, everyone that's got their name in a hat, send them to fish. And of course, it's on an app, so they just pay on the app. Our job is to catch it and ship it. Their job is to look at it and say, I want that, and buy it.
So how come that didn't work out for you?
Well, back then I was drinking.
You were drunk?
Yeah. So I did that instead.
Oh, okay. How about now? Would you do that now? You're sober now.
Yeah, I'm not drinking now. I could do that now, but at the same time, the things that seem important to me have more to do with promoting and expanding people's awareness by and through supporting the things that you do. So trying to create a new business that distracts me from supporting what you want to do and what you need to do, what you're here to do for the planet, it's just harder to engage in. It's just less interesting. So I'd be happy to catch fish for somebody else if they want to write an app
And get a
and do it once
freezer.
in a while and not have it as the primary job.
And get a freezer.
Sure, get a freezer, pack it up, ship it out. Well, get other people to do that want to do that.
No, I said get somebody else to get the freezer, pack it up, and send it. You can give it to them, and they can do that part.
Because that's what they probably really, really want to do. I want to make sure the return to the Earth files is written in. I want to make sure the course that eliminates or at least greatly diminishes the veil of forgetfulness for whatever period of time it is, that course gets done. I want to see the iBenz Academy happening. I want to see Brides and Grooms page and forum and blog and podcast and video, YouTube, whatever that is. I want to see that happening.
So we're going to take a little break.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to drop off some medicine to somebody who's not feeling very well on the way home. All right. We'll talk to you in a few seconds because for you, there won't be no break. We'll just be back. And we're back. We just dropped off some of that delicious honey, ginger, lemon, and mud water.
I didn't put mud water in it this time.
You didn't?
Not mud water. I used the 10 Sacred blend, I think, of mushrooms.
Oh, the 10 mushroom blend. Okay.
It might have been the 7 mushroom blend.
7 mushroom blend?
Whatever it has chaga in it, has cordyceps or something, and it has lion's manes or something else in it.
Yeah.
Bunch of good mushrooms. You need a little bit of mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, so fascinating. We have like different energies and people in our communities that we belong to. Some of them, like you saw or heard, you know, the person who's guarding the res, he's a senior citizen and he was fairly enthusiastic and happy doing his job, and we're going to bring him some of that medicine tomorrow. And we dropped it off at some other friend's house who, well, one of them is not feeling too good right now. So, but they're all going to take it.
Yep, because it's yummy anyway.
Because it's yummy anyways. And it protects you, so... Well, I suppose one of the things that I've heard a lot, and this is something that I thought we could talk about, is people saying that nothing's happening, it's not really real, as in with regards to that people are not dying from it, right? And it feels to me like a lot of that is true. I think that the level of panic around the planet and the level of all these actions, such as closing schools and closing everything. Whoa, a dog on the road. It's OTT for what's actually happening. I do believe that. I think that there aren't that many people dying from this virus as they're letting on or saying. I think other things are killing them. And also it's people who are very weak right now.
Probably panicked.
And panic, yeah, stress levels are huge, right?
Yeah.
So that can lower your immune system too. But at the same time, I know and I realize that yes, there are people who are dying, but it's like one of those things, you know, more people die of alcohol-related accidents than this thing every single day. Yet we're not doing anything about people drinking alcohol.
Well, we did close all that. We did close all the bars.
Exactly. But now with this thing, all the bars are closed, and
Yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
doesn't
sure.
make sense, does it?
And I'm pretty sure that when we come, maybe somebody puts together some stats on the alcohol-related deaths and injuries for this time period, I'm pretty sure it's going to be down.
Way down.
By millions of people not dying every day on the planet. So it's one of those things, you know. It's like, yeah, I'm one of those individuals who have been living my entire life, and Larry kind of mentioned it earlier, disinfecting everything, right? It's just one of those quirky things, one of my personality things. I have it under control pretty much, but it comes out sometimes. You know, I I really feel uncomfortable at restaurants because of the tables and chairs. Everybody's touched them with their saliva, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I don't like to put salt on my food or ketchup or anything, pepper, because everybody has touched them with their hands. So that's me normally, right? That's me. You like, this is how I've lived for 53 years or whatever it is. Maybe 54, I don't remember. And now the entire planet is turning that way, you know. So I would be the last person to say, don't wash your hands, right? Because to me, that's the normal.
Yeah, it's fine to wash your
Right?
hands.
It's fine to wash your hands and disinfect your car, whatever, you know. And I prefer for people to, you know, wear gloves when they're handling my food before they give it to me at a restaurant. And I do prefer to grab it from a window than going inside.
That's
So
an ideal world for you.
exactly. So for me, and also I've been telling people, you know, the school system creates slaves. So I'm super fascinated and interested in finding out how this will resolve, what kind of citizens we're going to be creating as we homeschool them. At the same time, I know that there are people who are dying from this thing. I know some people say it's all lies, but I can't imagine. I mean, I know it's possible and it's happened before that the entire world, governments, all the governments around the world, all the media around the world are making it all up, you know, and nobody has died and the coronavirus doesn't exist. So I think something is happening, something does exist, something is making people sick, something is killing people. Whether it's a virus or not, I'm not sure. Like we talked about earlier, you know, the link between 5G and the corona outbreak, you know, it's very, like, there's a paper trail in that link, which is kind of, yeah, last year I talked about, well, this split is going to happen, and I suspect it might have something to do with 5G. I don't know how it will happen with 5G, but, you know, it just feels like it is, and I can really see the difference in people and their reactions and way of behaving around things. It's so clear, you know, there is a split between the people who are terrified and afraid and the people who are not. Somebody mentioned, well, I went to the park and I've never seen so many people at the park playing, having fun. I saw no fear. And another person says, yeah, I went for a walk and there was people jogging and laughing and talking and there was no fear. And that's because everybody who's fearful is stuck in their home with their doors locked.
Yeah, probably true.
You know, and the people you're seeing outside and taking fresh air and taking the children to the park, they're not afraid. So yeah, something definitely, obviously, right, is happening with our society, is happening with our planet. To me, it's very exciting. And one of the conversations we had earlier with the kids is, I don't know, I know like thousands of people around the planet, and I don't know anybody, not one person, who's sick with the coronavirus, or that they know somebody who's sick with the coronavirus. Not one person. So it's just weird to me, because I know thousands of people that none of them know somebody who has the coronavirus or has died of it. They've all heard of people, but nobody knows anybody. So, and then of course I know and I feel that when this all starts dying down, they're going to say that's because we sent everybody home, right? And we're going to keep everybody home so it doesn't
Come back.
come back.
Yeah.
And it's the start of a new society. And how it goes, does it go complete power over others, dictatorial, and people being vaccinated forcefully or shot, you know? Or does it go the other way, where we all have a choice and we decide what happens to our bodies and how we live our lives? That's up in there right now, but I have full confidence in the human collective that as a collective we're going to make the right choices.
Right
And-
choices for a high frequency
Yes,
experience.
high choice for like the right
choice
choices.
for a high frequency.
High
experience.
frequency, exactly. High
Because-
frequency experience.
You know, there are other choices to make for a low frequency experience that are also the right ones, but they're the right ones for a low frequency experience. And I
Right.
think we're done with that.
So I'm going to go into a lot of detail about these things on live lectures. I hope you can make it. So what else shall we talk about?
Maybe you could give a little update on Lucy.
Lucy's
Lucy's-
doing great.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about her?
I want to hear about her.
Well, she's been doing really great. She's eating more, she's walking a little bit more, she's more enthusiastic. She is on a lot of painkillers still because of her hips, especially. And on Tuesday we went to have her bandages changed, and her stump looks so much healthier. It's incredible. And we take her back on Tuesday to have it again. It's once a week we're taking her to have her bandages changed because she's having stem cell therapy, so you don't change them every day.
That was the first notice we had of the world changing, because one day we had to change that bandage every single day with heavy sedation, and we'd have a 4-hour drive to do it because there's no vet close. And then the next day we'd have to change it once a week.
Yeah.
That was the first day I noticed the world was changing.
Yeah. It does become easier. It does become more supportive, I think. That's how it feels to me.
So it seems Lucy's changed also, from slightly aloof and interested in the world around her to absolutely enthralled with you.
With me?
Yes.
Yes, it's a little bit strange. She follows me around. If I'm gone from her side for like half an hour and I come back, she's just over the top happy, whining and wanting to get closer to me. I have to get down to reach her and hug her and kiss her and cuddle her for ages before she calms down. She's just insane. She's never used
She
to be
was
that
never
way.
like that before.
She was never. She was more like, yeah, okay, I know you exist in my life, but actually looking out into the fields and making sure
yeah.
everything's tickety-boo, that was her life, you know.
That was the most important thing.
Yeah.
And not no more. Although she really cares about what's in the yard, she more cares about where you are in the yard.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big change.
Yeah, we'll see if that change sticks or whether it changes back when she's feeling better. We don't know yet.
Romeo's changed too. He was a mop, and now he's not.
I shaved him.
He was a long-haired dog, and now he's a short-haired dog. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's a Portuguese water dog, Romeo is, and he needs to be clipped on a regular basis. And I hadn't done it because of the Lucy situation, and then I got sick and everything. I got sick. Got a tummy bug. It wasn't a flu. But I'm better now. So I gave him a haircut, and he looks amazing. He looks so nice. He's such an adorable dog.
Yep, he's really turning into a sweetheart. Well, I think we're about done. Sunday dinner tomorrow,
Yeah,
but not too many are coming.
not too many are coming to our Sunday dinner. All right, so stay cool, stay happy, stay sane, and start creating these new structures. Okay,
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Will do.
We'll see you next time.